1.5 miles into Mount Balingkilat, and I'm a little nervous because so far it's awesome, but like just steady incline, nothing crazy. But we're a mile and a half in, and the total elevation gain of this 6-mile hike is like 3,300 feet, which means the next mile and a half is going to be like rock climbing. And the reviews on AllTrails kind of said that too, where it's like pretty aggressive and technical. But I mean, if we're going to be doing like 2,500 feet of gain in a mile and a half, so that's where we're going. We'll see. Should be fun. Guide is fast as F, and he's in flip-flops, which is just so embarrassing. Guy's flying. Love it. All right, a little over 2 miles. Total round trip is like 6 or 5.9, so 2/3 of the way up. Definitely started getting a little steeper. Just beautiful, peaceful. No one's out here. I think literally on every hike I did out here, 5, maybe 6, I was the only person hiking except for once on the way back, the one where the guide left me. When I was going down, I saw some hikers going up. This is a good one, and I'm flying for me. This guide it's embarrassing. Flip-flops, I don't know how old he is. He doesn't speak English. No problem. For me, he's not pointing stuff out that I don't care about. He's just flying. Perfect. I love ridge hikes, and that's where we're headed. Right down that ridge right there, back to the ocean. This ended up being a pretty epic hike, to be honest with you. More ocean over there. Saw some random people too. So we ended up doing like 2 peaks. Now we're in this tall grass, turning it into a loop. It's gonna be more than I expected, which is great and fine, but you know, probably should have had a hat or remember to pack sunscreen. Whoops. Definitely passed no hikers on the way up to the summit, and then once we started looping around to the second summit, saw actual certified guides, walkie-talkies, the whole thing. Everybody we passed said they started at like 3 or 4 a.m., which is like, I mean, yes, it's a steep hike, and yeah, it's a little hot now, but I don't know. Sounds early, but it's beautiful out here. I mean, stunning. Just green and a little bit of this southern island, New Zealand vibe. Oh, another mountain. All right, about 7 miles into this thing. As an out and back, it's 6, but we did this loop that took us to a couple extra peaks, added a little bit of vert, and then some super overgrown, like fieldy, exposed terrain. Now we're down by some river. Based on AllTrails, I think we're only about 2 miles from being back, and it should be pretty flat and downhill. Guides wants to eat. He brought some food, I guess, so he's gonna stop and eat. I definitely, so if I would have done this without a guide on my own, I would have done it as an out and back, and it would have been fine. It is fun adding on and doing this thing as a loop, but I would have needed a guide for sure. Not that you have an option, you have to get them out here. Because I would have gotten lost for sure on a couple sections. Like, you just have no idea where you're going. Also, the guide is a mountain goat, like next level. Sure, he's in flip-flops too, makes it even more impressive, but like, I've never come close to keeping up with his pace. Anytime there's like a little downhill stretch that isn't rocky, he's like physically running, and I'll run, keep up a little bit. We started this hike at like 7:50, 7:55. We literally passed a bunch of people, different groups that started at 3, 4 a.m. He's all pumped about how fast we're going. He's like, the first couple hours, he was like, you know, stone faced, like, we're just hiking. And then once we got to the summit, he was like, what time is it? And he just started smiling. I mean, he gets paid for the hike, right? So if he can do it in half the time, he's probably stoked. But yeah, I'm wrecked. Can't wait for a nice coffee and a proper meal. But it'll be good to finish this one out. I think it's got to be close to 4K in gain, maybe 3,500, but legit for sure. Beautiful. And based on AllTrails, we're definitely off the trail, but we're near it. And the trail's so overgrown anyway. It's kind of nice to be walking along a little river in the shade. And if AllTrails is right, which it usually is, we can just connect up with the trail in a minute. Might be a little further than I thought though. It could be another 3 miles or so, but all good. All right, just had some low elevation stream water, which tasted okay. I would say I don't feel great about it, but pumped to be back on the trail at least after like, I don't know, half a mile of going up some river, and been out of water for a little bit since didn't plan on doing this much hiking. So really hoping I didn't pick anything up from that water. Guide's been drinking out of it. His constitution's probably a little stronger than mine. I guess we'll just see what happens. All right, bouncing on a tree trunk now. This trail's so overgrown. All right, hiked up that and that. Now we're finally almost back on an actual road. Did like 10 miles. If the vert was less than 4, then I'm in the worst shape of my life because I feel wrecked. And the trail was so overgrown, like literally the last third. I mean, between waist high and above head high, tall grass, single track, super narrow. Just, they desperately need a machete or a weed whacker or something, but definitely felt like an adventure, especially that almost a mile going up a river because we were off trail. I mean, I think the guy knew how to get there kind of eventually, but took a little bit of a non-traditional route. Although when we did connect back with the trail, I looked back to see and there was like no trail. So yeah, good one for sure. Pretty epic.